Hi parents, so you might have seen this paper come home recently with your kiddos. It's just, we call it naked numbers because there are addition and subtraction problems and there's no context, like there's no word problem or whatever. We do have to spend some time practicing our naked numbers, and I'm actually using this to assess the students' fluency with their naked numbers. You'll notice that the kids do it in pen. That is on purpose. Everybody starts with a red pen, and then we switch to blue. And when they start with the red pen, I ask them to first do the problems that are easy for them. So they don't necessarily have to go straight down and straight down here or across or whatever. But they might do a problem here and a problem over here. They might think, okay, I know this one, and since I know that one, it can help me with this one or with this one. So if you look closely, you can see certain things that I might be looking for. For example, like doubles facts. Like a lot of kids can easily learn their doubles facts, and it's a strategy they can use to help them build fluency. So with this one here, we have 4 plus 4, that doubles, obviously it'd be 8. And because they know that 4 plus 4, it's like 4 plus 5 because it's like a double plus one more. Not that they have to draw this, they don't. They would be able to easily say, okay, well that's just one more than 8, so that's 9. So we're trying to get them to move past the point of counting. A lot of kids from kindergarten would count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then in first grade, they might go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or start with the 5 and count up 4. And that's a big strategy. It's really important for kids to have that counting strategy, but we don't want them to get stuck at using counting as their strategy to get their answers. When they do that, a lot of times you might notice them being off by just 1. They might, their answer might be 1 too many or 1 too few. That's kind of a sign to us that they're still using counting. And again, they're starting with that red pen, and then after about 2 minutes, I don't tell them that part's timed or anything. I just say, do the problems that are easy with you, and I just say, okay, switch pens and use your blue for the rest of the test. And then here, if they're able to do things like 10 plus 4, they're using some knowledge of their place value here. 1 10 and 4 ones, that's 14. They might know this double here, 7 plus 7, and say it's 14, or they might think, you know, that 7's pretty close to 10. If I were to take 3 away, and it doesn't matter which way, take 3 from this one and add it over here, that way I'm going to have a 10. And that's going to leave me 4, and that's the same as that one. That's 14. This idea here, that's called compensation. And, to be able to do this, kids have to have a very good understanding of what the equal sign means. They need to understand that idea of equivalence. And that each side of the equal sign is balanced. And then same thing here, like on 10 plus 8, they do 18. Here they might just know their doubles 9 and 9, but they might also think, hey, that's kind of like this. If I take 1 and add 1, I think that's what the kids were calling it because they don't have to know it's called compensation. They have 10 plus 8 here, 18. 6 plus 7, this would be a double plus 1. If they think of that 7 as 6 and 1 more, they know their doubles. 6 plus 6 is 12, and then 12 plus 1 more, that's 13, and write that here. 5 plus 8. A lot of kids will use this idea of compensation here as well, and they'll think, well, 8's really close to 10. That's the numbers that are really close to 10 that are easiest for kids to use that idea of compensation for. So like when you see 9s, 8s, and 7s, they're more likely to use compensation. It's just, in the beginning, some kids were taking away one number and adding another one, so they've learned it has to be the same. So if they were to add 2 here, take 2 from over here, 3 and 10, that would give them 13. And if they're paying attention, so if I note on your grades for your kiddo on Jupiter grades to use the relationship between addition and subtraction, when they look at this problem here, if they were to look at others, like this next one, 13 minus 8, they should see that these problems are related, and they shouldn't even have to count. They shouldn't even have to really subtract and just think, okay, that's 8. Same thing for this one, 13 minus 8, okay, that's 5. Okay? And then down 11 plus 11, they may or may not know this double, it's beyond 20, but they should be able to do various things like break numbers apart, or just take 1 away from here so they have a 10 and add it over here, so now they have 12 plus 10, and that's a lot easier to add together, it gives me 22. And if they can do this, then they can do that. This is the commutative property, just switching the addends around, and the sum or the total stays the same. And if they know this and they know this one, then they easily know this one without ever having to even count. And then 13 minus 7, I think we saw that somewhere before. So if they're looking for patterns in their problems, that's what we want them to do, they won't have to rely on counting. They think, okay, I can just use that one to help me with this one. So part of the time when I look at their test, what did they do in the red pen, I'm trying to see, okay, well, did they do all of these in red, or did they just do one and do the rest? I'm looking, did they use their double strategy, doubles plus 1? If they got those, did I see anybody using compensation? Did they get this one right? Did they get all of these right? Did they use that relationship here and the doubles plus 1 again here? Or some sort of strategy that's going to help them build fluency, and we have to move beyond counting. Otherwise, those are the kids that when they're in 5th grade, then the teachers complain that they're still using their fingers to add and subtract. That's why, because they haven't developed these strategies to help build their fluency. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.